Good morning everyone, welcome back to This is the Police 2. We last left off on December the 5th, it's now December the 6th, and this is the day that we are going to pay back our debt. At least I want to, even though I only have $16,000. So obviously we need a couple more dollaroos. I've got 2 investigations. Let's see, open this one. I'm going with the hospital employee part. Go with hospital employee, and you oh yeah, that's right, we need to see what the clues are. There's fresh tire tracks near the morgue's broken window. Alright, the morgue's door shows no signs of forced entry. It was wide open when the pathologist came to work. Sure, the window was broken by a piece of brick. Is lying inside the morgue along with the window's broken glass. Around the morgue is my territory. I won it for the price of a broken leg, so now I live here. I like it, it's calm and peaceful. It would be nice if the morgue workers were friendly and let me go inside the evenings to warm up, but I'm not offended. I hardly saw anything last night. I just woke up from screeching tires and saw a hearse pulling away from the morgue. I thought it strange that they were doing it so late. Corpse delivery is from 9 to 12. Everybody knows that. Hold on. The window was broken by a piece of brick. It's lying inside the morgue along with the window's broken glass. You know, it's baby's first investigation. The glass lies in the inside of the house. The glass was broken from the outside. I learned that from Hot Fuzz. Pathologist, I work here in the evenings, and recently I've been seeing this one homeless guy who looks like a drug addict. He limps around with a cart full of junk and looks into the windows while I'm working. At first I thought he was looking in out of curiosity or to have a laugh. We've got bodies laying out right there. Some folks think it looks funny. But now I think he was looking for something valuable. He always needs money for his next fix, but I don't know why he dragged all the corpses around and took a crap in the corner. Do you think it's because he ate all those drugs? The fresh tire tracks do suggest that the hearse theory is correct. And the morgue's door showed no signs of forced entry. And the window was broken by a piece of brick. But I think that it will be easy for the funeral home director or any employee to make it look like the homeless guy did it, right? So let's go make you search for clues frames for version 2. There we go. Alright. So at the end of the day we need to pay. You need to pay it right tonight. Get ready, otherwise an anonymous call will tell the feds exactly where to look for you. Still need to do this thing over here. Warehouse. Your mother tells you to brush your teeth twice a day. I always cleaned mine 3, 4, sometimes even 5 times a day, but they all turn black anyway. My aunt was right, the women in our family are cursed. It's probably because my great-great-grandmother quarreled with Lotus, the high mountain spirit. But something happened that can only be called a miracle. When I started drinking fairy cola, my teeth started getting stronger. I started rinsing my mouth out with this wonderful drink, and the effects are undeniable. It's probably somehow connected with how the creator of Fairy Cola died a horrible death. Maybe his soul has taken on the part of the Stefanovic curse. I don't know, I'm no expert. I only know that I need more fairy cola, so I finally get a chance to date a normal guy. Somebody better than my grouchy husband. It's been a long time since they sold this drink at the store. Everybody says they stopped drinking it, but there still has to be some old stock at the warehouse. Let a couple of your not so dumb cops go over there and bring me as many healing green bottles as they can find. If they manage to bring them some back, then you're free to get anything from my store except my miracle cola, of course. So smart cops. These two.
514 in progress.
Attempted carjacking. The factory manager looked out his office window and saw someone trying to steal his old car. There you go.
526 in progress.
Attempted murder. An indignant woman, along with her relatives and neighbors, came to the dental office of Rishi Patel with a rope threatening to lynch the shaggy Indian. A local priest and several parishioners have come to the dentist's defense. The situation is heating up. 2,120 experience needed. Five cops. Mr. Nash, in my line, it pays to be able to recognize a person in need. To be there at the right time and give him a helping hand. I can offer you a loan of $9,000 for modest interest. You'll have to repay my debt plus $2,000 in interest. But unlike my colleagues, I do not hurry my clients or break their legs. Unless they are complete idiots, of course. But I'm confident in your ability to repay me. Sure. Hope this doesn't bite me later on, but you know. The luck they had on the warehouse was child's play. We got in there no problem and grabbed all the fairy colas we could find. We might have had a bottle or two in the process, but who's gonna care, right? It's a magical drink after all. We got some toilet paper, razors, some cash, and Anna Stefanovic will sell her electronics, it seems like. Okay. So it seems like we can start. Hold on, I want to test something. You sell cola, right? Fairy cola. If I buy one fairy cola and want to sell it, not interested in this product. I just bought all of this for no reason. We need a big TV for tomorrow. Let's see what she has. I do think I saw a home TV set. That's not really what I'm looking for though. I want a big TV. Maybe tomorrow, because they seem to fluctuate on what they have available for me. Some cartridges. There we go. Close, and let's just continue. A suspect in a down jacket has picked up a brick off the ground. Apparently he intends to smash the car's window to get the door open. Shoot into the air, sneak up, order the thief to drop the brick and surrender. And I've got some negotiations, so the offender with the brick refused to obey the cop and run away without looking back. Chase. We got him. The cop manages to catch up with and arrest the criminal. It turned out that he wanted to take revenge on the factory manager for firing him unfairly by trading in his car at the scrapyard. The guy smells like he's been swimming in alcohol. Great. Attempted murder. A hefty man is throwing a rope around the dentist's neck and a crowd of lynchers are fighting the parishioners. An angry woman yells, "Let's hang the red-skinned bastard, he wouldn't give me extra anesthetic herbs, and I saw he had a whole box of them." Strike. Order the criminal to release dentist. Guys, he'll dance better if you don't tie his feet. I feel like this is a baton situation. So, Brodka hit him. The cop hits the bully in the kidneys with a baton. The criminal writhes in pain and lets go of the dentist, who tears the noose off his neck and runs off. The bully snatches a revolver from his pocket. Use pepper spray. Got him. The cop shot pepper spray in the offender's face and arrested him. The crowd of vigilantes immediately dispersed. And we got some soap out of it. Some antibiotics and some toilet paper again. Man, I got a lot of toilet paper.
564 in progress.
Drug manufacturing. We need 1255 experience for this one. It's so much. A schoolboy claims that some hunchback lady grows marijuana in a greenhouse. Let's wait a second until some of my cops get back, so we can actually complete this mission. Alright, let's send you, and you. A handyman reports that someone has stolen his lunch along with a valuable officer's watch from the bag he'd left in the stable. Good lord, Galen Woolbag always smells like shite, but today is just too fucking much. Look, Nash, you can do whatever you want, but I'm not going anywhere in a car with him. Galen Woolbag. This guy. Alright, you win. Forest. Mr. Nash, you are new to the city, so I don't know if you've heard the local legends about the treasures that the forest spirits hid for the righteous ones. My brother and me never met anyone more righteous than us our whole lives. So we figured those treasures must still be lying somewhere out there, untouched. So we decided to find them. And we figured out pretty quick they must be buried in the forest outside Sharpwood. We drew a map, packed our stuff, grabbed a couple shovels and set off. To make sure we didn't get lost, we made marks on the trees. But something strange happened when we reached the right place. The air got thick and dark, and then I can't remember hardly anything after that. Just a constant whooshing sound that pierced my bones. I came to my senses back out near where we parked, and I haven't seen my brother ever since. Maybe we angered the spirits and they made that damned forest eat him alive. But I'd like to know for sure what happened to him. If you're brave enough to send your smartest cop out here, I'll give him the map where the treasure is marked. Smartest cop. Let's send you. It will probably not take too long. At least I hope it doesn't take too long.
510 in progress.
Vehicular accident. A blue sedan was pulling out of the gas station and an 18-wheeler rammed into it at high speed. Theft. The door to the greenhouse is tightly closed, no one seems to be around. Oh, scout the area with the sniper. I could have done that, but... Sneak. Turn on the siren. I've got no stealth. Turn on the siren. The cop turned on the siren. An old woman came out of the greenhouse holding a homemade flamethrower and hastily began burning down the greenhouse. Shoot the criminal, run away. Why should we run away? Gaffy shooter.
564.
The cop shot the elderly woman with his flamethrower. Good. And we found marijuana. And Marshall becomes better at stealth, I guess. The pigs smelled the bacon crumbs and escaped the pen to help themselves. Together with the man's food, they accidentally gobbled down the watch that was laying beside it. The case was solved by following the trail of breadcrumbs. Great. The truck has turned over on its side and its driver, clearly drunk, is climbing out carrying a fire extinguisher. The blue sedan is smashed to pieces and flipped upside down and is being engulfed in flames. Inside is a woman with 2 young children. Hurry to the burning sedan. The cop ran to the burning sedan and helped the woman and children escape. They got off with scrapes and bruises. A few seconds later the car exploded. The drunk driver meanwhile escaped from the scene of this accident. You know what? Acceptable. Of course you'd rather have him arrested. But given the circumstances, you know, I'd rather have 3 civilians survive. A prostitute is servicing several men at once on a bench in the park. Excuse me?
in progress.
Attempted carjacking. A disgruntled employee decided to augment his salary by stealing a hearse. There we go. The secret of the heaping. Okay, we found 2 new frames. And the riddle of the purloined data. Hospital employee. Okay. Longo Gardemeister puts the computer in the back of his pickup truck. That's the last one, right? The pickup truck leaves, I guess. Longo Gardemeister opens the office door with his key. Takes out the computer from the office. That seems all correct, right? The door was found open. The offender either used the key or opened it from the inside. The office window is ajar, but the bars and glass are intact. On the floor lies a broken pot of flowers knocked down from the windowsill. So this seems all This seems correct. Indict. Employee at the hospital, he used his key to the office to steal his computer because he thinks of the device as a living being and wants to take care of it himself. It does sound weird though, right? That motive. Then again, it's not really disproven. The large hearse is slowly turning down the road away from the funeral home. Turn on the siren, block the road, order him to turn off the engine. The suspect obeyed the cop and surrendered. Good. Carl Williams gets some shooting skill, I guess. It's 10 o'clock. Mr. Nash, I found 3 boxes with gold. I'm not quite sure how it happened. I remember walking through the forest, following the notes on that old man's map, and suddenly the sky got dark and the air got thick, and I heard this whooshing sound, and I seemed to have lost consciousness. I woke up back outside the forest, covered in dirt, and beside me there were these 3 boxes with gold. But we were sent out to find the brother. Right? I received gold bars. I received gold bars. I received gold bars. Several men with their trousers down are standing in a semicircle around the bench. An elderly prostitute is hard at work. Stand beside them in the semicircle. The men noticed the cop when he joined their company and start rushing around in all directions, grabbing up their pants as they stumble. The prostitute is upset that the police frightened her clients and grabs a grenade from her purse. A colonel left me this little girl as a tip, said it will make anybody shut up and pay. Taser. The cop stunned the offender with a taser shot. The grenade, it turns out, was only a stun grenade. When she came to, the woman shared some of the wisdom she'd accumulated over the years. This life, baby, is a war. You wouldn't believe how many muskets I had to unload just to survive. And we got some razors out of it. And it's almost time. Hold on. No. Maybe. You. And you sent. I forgot about that. Musica. What is this? Send your most powerful cup to this guy. Sure, let's send Spurlock. Longo Gardemeister has been seen here. Longo Gardemeister has a small apartment here. And here. Here you go, $20,000. It was a productive day today. Brad Marshall was injured in a car accident. Looks like the poor bastard was asleep at the wheel. Oh no. No. That's quite alright. Just let him heal up for now. Arrest of Longo Gardemeister was here but recently left. Because Marshall was going to the... Because he was tired, see? Miss Nash, I worked that kid's knees over good. He's not running anywhere. Mr. Alvarez was happy and asked me to tell you that he'll be looking for our guys out on the ice. Does he mean that he wants to play hockey? We got some leather boots, $2,000, and probably also we make a friend that will train them in strength. We found a girl. She was wandering around not very far into the forest. Her father was happy and asked us to tell you that he will welcome your guests in his slaughterhouse anytime, day or night. What kind of guests is he talking about, I wonder? Well, none of your concern. Let's give you some intelligence, I guess. Look at that. We already made back the money that we have to pay off later. You know, you can just quit the day to day already, but sure. There's no music either, so... Oh, there we go. And today, how much did we earn? Probably not that much. 20 criminals arrested, 1 criminal killed, 1 criminal escaped. 18 points. And Carter got 15. Actually, a lot closer than I thought it would be, but then again, I did not do that much in the... I did a lot of personal tasks instead of actual tasks. Let's go with lead. Next. Carter's turn. He can't buy anything, I think. Good. There's the third day in a row that I won. So one more day and I've officially won. You. It's becoming harder and harder to have enough experience on the field. Next. Got 11 people.
Mr. Boyd, finally. I was starting to wonder if you were going to spend the night.
Shut your mouth.
Mr. Boyd, listen, I understand you don't talk much. I get it. After all, you would never have... Well, you wouldn't have been able to do what you've done if you were a chatterbox. Yeah? But I'm not asking you for a big speech. I'm not asking you to give me a master class in corruption. No, nothing like that. I'm only asking for one small story about the DeVroom painting. The newspapers never gave out too many details since the investigation was ongoing. But what's the difference now? What's left to hide? The painting couldn't be found, right? You made extra sure that it couldn't be found. Well, let's drink a beer sometime. No, not today. No, tomorrow or the day after. Or the day after the day after tomorrow. Just whatever's good for you. You see, I'm really interested in this. How did you pick that job? I mean, what did you want with that picture? I mean, that one in particular. It's a pretty specific choice. You know, it's a controversial artist. The critics don't agree. I've never heard of corrupt officials stealing paintings. They all take bribes, just bundles of money in paper bags, you know. Of course, I'm not comparing you to those ordinary rotten geezers. Not at all. I just wanted to say that even though I don't know all the details, I see that you've got your own style. Whether you realize it or not, that's why the press called you the Caesar of corruption. And you can find lots of kings of corruption in the newspapers. There's a new one every month, but I've never seen a Caesar. Because Caesar, that's not about the scale, but the style. Style is everything, right?
This guy likes to talk, I think. Not really sure what his deal is, though. Seems like we're not done with the cinematic yet. There's a guy next to our house, it seems like, waiting for us.
Please, Mr. Boyd.
Why on earth should I get into the car with a stranger?
Given your history, I'd imagine that you often had to get into a car with strangers. Back in Freeburg.
Freeburg is different.
Is it really so different?
Absolutely.
Friendlier?
Warmer.
Well, that's not saying much. Anywhere is warmer than here.
How?
Excuse me?
How did you know who I was?
How many ads were there?
Ads?
Well, I'd be willing to bet that when you came here, you went looking for housing in the newspaper ads. How many ads did you look at?
I don't know. Maybe a dozen.
But you chose this house. Why?
Because it stands away from everything.
Well, that's a reasonable choice. Unfortunately, the neckties choose their houses by the exact same principle. They stash their goods in isolated houses until they can find a big buyer, but they don't settle into the house. They let someone else rent it. It's safer that way.
Look, I'm not interested in how these neckties do business. I just want to know how they found out my real name.
I'm not a big fan of drug dealers, Mr. Boyd, but I have to give them their due. Many of them are amazingly smart, much smarter than your average drug dealer, you know. And the man who was appointed to watch your house, Arthur Sherman, well, it turns out he's quite the brain. He even went to college. Can you imagine? Arthur is so clever that when he realized that you're Jack Boyd, he didn't report it to his bosses. You see, the Ties are a wandering gang. Yesterday they worked in Ripton, today they're here, tomorrow they'll be somewhere else. They just shoot you to be safe, and that would be the end of it. But Arthur is clever, and he knew how valuable the information was, so he did the clever thing and brought it to me.
But how did he know who I was? How exactly?
Ask him yourself when you get the chance. Oh, looks like we've arrived. Mr. Boyd, are you coming?
Are you completely out of your mind? I'm a wanted man. I shouldn't be showing my face in public, even if it is old and shaggy.
Come on, Mr. Boyd. There's only drunk pigs and sweaty strippers in there. Nobody'll even look at you. Don't you want to drink a mug of draft beer for the first time in months and burp loud enough that everyone hears? Aren't you tired of hiding? Don't you just want to be an ordinary person?
You saw where I live. Now I want to see where you live. Don't you think that's fair?
Okay, you win. But I'll never believe that you don't miss letting loose.
That's not the only thing I miss. Not the only thing, and not the main thing.
I understand. Well, here's where we live.
What? We can't go inside?
Well, I didn't go into your house. I stood 100 yards away. Now we're even. Don't you think that's fair?
Arthur Sherman. I want to talk to him.
Mick, bring Sherman here. I'm sure he must still be awake. Sean told me about this Captain Britt Carter of yours. Now, if you want,
It won't be a problem.
You sure?
I can manage.
If you have any difficulties, just let me know. I could... well...
And I thought you were a smuggler, not a butcher.
I don't like the word smuggler.
Then maybe you shouldn't smuggle.
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't like what you mean by the word smuggler. You must be right. Freeburg and Sharpwood are very different. What kind of goods came through Freeburg? Automatic weapons? Heroin? People? I'll be honest with you, I can't brag that I never had to trade in the first, second, or third, but my most popular product is canned soup. Mushroom soup comes in a little red jar. And this is coming from a man who spent over 30 years eating a tasteless soldier's rations and not complaining. And I can assure you that this soup is the most disgusting meal in the world. When you pop open the jar with a can opener, this smell immediately bolts up your nose. The smell of despair, you know? It's impossible to suck down this vomit without thinking for even a second that your life is going nowhere. Sharpwood kids, when they grow up and leave this place for the rest of their lives, they'll always shudder when they remember this awful soup. But only the lucky ones, the few who manage to get out. The rest will live here for the rest of their days, eating smelly soup and then feeding it to their own children. Because without 12-cent soup, they'd all die. I give them this life, with the smell of despair. Bitter, but life. I don't know what cruel word to call what I'm doing, but I'm definitely not a smuggler. And I want that... There's your college boy, Mr. Boyd.
Give me a cigarette. Still alive, Mr. Boyd? Oh, wow.
How did you know who I was?
Were you really hiding all that well? You hitchhiked on your way to Sharpwood. Well, not to Sharpwood, of course, but to Big Rift. And from there you walked on foot, but before Big Rift, a red-haired guy named Locke drove you. Picked you up at a bus stop 70 miles down the highway. Buses from Garensburg pass that stop every 6 days. In Garensburg, you spent 2 nights at the Stone Woodpecker Hotel. I called down there and had a nice chat with Mrs. Hopper, who...
Just stop! So you're really that clever, Arthur Sherman? Proud of your little investigation?
If I'd known this investigation would turn me into a hostage to rednecks playing toy soldiers, I wouldn't have stuck my nose in your business, Mr. Boyd.
Hostage?
Arthur can't leave the barracks. It's for his own safety. In addition, he likes to live by military regulations. Isn't that right, Arthur?
This shit you're pulling here isn't military order. It's the middle of the night, but everyone's awake.
He's right, Mr. Boyd. It's high time for bed.
Interesting. So there are multiple gangs, well, not really gangs, but multiple groups of people that we have to work together with. So many things that we have to take into account. Meridian didn't come into work today. That worries me, because the last time this happened, they died. No. Continue, auto assign. Ooh, we've got a full roster. For the first time. Mr. Nash, I'm a cook at the police station and the happiest woman in the world. I just got married. They were filming a reality show in Sharpwood called You Won't Want to Eat This. And it was attended by a famous Serbian chef with a Michelin star. We met by coincidence and realized that we couldn't live without each other. So we arranged the wedding as quick as we could, and now we are leaving for a honeymoon trip across Europe. I don't know when we will return, but I'm sure we will have a great time. Sorry about the mess in the kitchen. I hope your cops don't starve while I'm away. The cops wrote you notes with their food preferences. You'd better consider all of it if you don't want to be eaten alive. I'm not picky. I had a dream about my father. He died a few years ago, so in my dreams he was in the kitchen preparing a specialty tomato soup. Okay, tomato soup. Not vegetarian though. No coffee. Chocolate is also a no-no. Baked beans. Orange juice. Okay, so we've got orange juice. Oh, main dish. We go with tomato soup, of course. Baked beans. Non-vegetarian. Seems correct. No coffee. No chocolate. Orange juice. So what's the cheapest dish? Cherry pie? Choco chip cookie, donuts, fruit salad, ice cream. Ice cream is the cheapest. Baked beans, baked beans, baked beans, meatloaf with baked beans, hot dog, lasagna, meatloaf with baked beans. And that's about it, I think. There we go. Next. Oh. Ice cream was perhaps a bad idea. And Sheenie has lost respect for me. Maybe because I rejected her requests too often. You go look for new frames for the funeral director, and we are going to arrest the computer thief, I think. Glasses boys, and the pawn shop will be visited by you two. Snitch, it's time to square up. Do you have $500? Yes, I do. We can do some alcoholism treatment. Speed coach, strength coach, relax at the bath, alcoholism treatment. Let's wait a second. Is that right? Let's see what's in store for us. What do you have? Portable TV set, but not a big TV. What do you have? Nothing interesting at the moment. Some stun grenades, I guess. What's in our storage now? We've got 7 stun grenades. Got VSS tapes, portable TV sets, portable generator, but no big TV. Now, how can we get a big TV though? A lake. I'm in some serious gosh darn trouble. I have a small business. I keep an ice hole where you can take a nice break and freshen up. But one of my customers recently got drunk and drowned. His body is still somewhere down there under the ice right now. The guy was connected, so if his corpse comes back up some springtime, come springtime, his boys will think of me first and might put a few holes in me before they figure out what really happened. Basically, I need to get this darn corpse out of my hole right away and find somewhere to bury it. My grandfather left me an old diving suit that we could use to help him find the body. Send me your quickest cop and let him dive down under and get the corpse. If you help me out here, I'll set you and your man up with a private ice hole where you can freshen up anytime. Speed. Let's wait a second. We've got not enough cops as it is. Eyewitness report that an armed robber is assaulting an armored truck. I can handle my colleagues in our grey, tasteless uniforms, but that baboon Jessica isn't even clear on what he's dressed up for. I'm not going anywhere with an animal like that. Offender caught. There we go. You need some speed. Tomorrow, Judge Trent will consider the case the riddle of the purloined data in which Longo Gardemeister will be charged as a defendant. Great. And they missed the criminal. I suspected as much.
553 in progress.
Volva drugstore. A girl with a shotgun is demanding that the pharmacist sell her medicine without a prescription. Mr. Nash, all done. I took the stun grenades to that guy. He said he'll be ready for our guys at the shooting range behind the school anytime. And we got some cigarettes out of it, $150. A robber in a ski mask carrying a hunting rifle is holding a guard at gunpoint as he loads a sack with money from the armored truck. Another guard is lying on the ground with his hands on the back of his neck. Sneak up on the robber.
553.
Cop crept up on the robber and arrested him. Great. I want you to be better at shooting, and you become stealthier. It's 5 people. Going to the drugstore.
565 in progress.
An elderly woman claims that her grandson is skipping class and going to an abandoned boarding school where he smokes marijuana. There's no getting through to him. Maybe once he's behind bars, someone will at last be able to talk some sense into him. Got to wait for a second.
553 in progress.
Armed robbery. Armed men in masks broke into the vault and demanded that the vault be opened. Let's wait a second.
In progress. 517 in progress.
Okay, a girl with a scarf covering her face is aiming a sawed-off shotgun at the pharmacist while simultaneously holding out some money for him. Here, take it. I don't have a prescription, but here's the money. Sneak up behind the girl. The cop manages to sneak up on the girl and neutralize her. It turned out that she needed the medicine for her 1-year-old son who was very ill. The girl couldn't get a prescription for the medication because the only doctor in the city who could write one for her got drunk and walked into the forest. Messed up situation. Okay. Sent. Come on, hurry up. 3, 2, 1.
538 in progress.
We don't have enough people. 240, 470, go. You, 810, 570, 260, go. Drug use. The boy really was truant, but he was only smoking ordinary cigarettes, neither of which is actually a crime. Good. At the entrance to the bank, there's a frightened clerk in a president's mask holding down a grenade with his chin. He's holding the grenade pin in his hand. I was told that if I'm a good president, they'll put the pin back. The guy is trembling in fear. Disarm the grenade. Go in through the back door, calm the guy down. Sheeny, disarm the grenade, please. The cop placed the pin back in the grenade and takes it from the clerk, who flees in relief. The cop then enters the bank and runs straight into 2 robbers wearing president's masks. They are armed and together dragging a large bag, which looks like it's filled with gold bars. Let's not throw their own grenade at the robbers. Let's order them to surrender. The robbers obeyed the cop and surrendered. The gold was returned to the vault. And we got some gold bars out of it. You know, with the amount of gold bars that we have. We sold 1. I'm feeling good now. I'm sure that this is not what we need. I'm pretty sure. Mr. Nash, you've paid off your debt of $11,000. It was nice doing business with you, but I have a feeling this won't be our last deal. No. From Karadok Puskas. You must have been in a serious relationship, and you know sometimes there's no living with a woman. But you can't do without a meter, right? Well, I've been married for 22 years, and I've suffered every day, but I endured. But now my wife announces that she wants to divorce me. She wants to divorce me. Can you imagine? You think I'm supposed to put up with this shite? Long story short, I can't allow it to happen. And I know exactly what needs to be done. Let's have her spend a day in prison. You can figure out the charge, plan some drugs on her or whatever you do. Nobody knows better than the police. Then let her spend a day sweating it out in a cell, thinking about life. Then I'll come in and bail her out. To get her head straight. Where else is she gonna get a reliable man like me? I'll pay you $100 for every hour you spend in your lockup. Sounds like a good deal to me. You normally put people behind bars for free. You know what? Why not? A woman and a daughter of 6 are dancing around a grave singing, "The spirits of the forest command you, arise." The cemetery groundskeeper offers the cop a fire extinguisher. Extinguish the burning grave with the fire extinguisher. Give the woman a dose of pepper spray. Sing along with them. You know what? Pepper spray him.
517,
The
complete.
cop hit the woman in the face with pepper spray. She howled in pain, grabbed her face and fell right into the fire. The young girl has become an orphan. Success. We found some diesel fuel. And now... shooting. Oh, there we go. Alright. The owner of the sawmill, bleeding from the head, runs towards the patrol car, fleeing 3 men armed with tire irons. Ready your baton, ready your big knife, shoot into the air. Shoot into the air. The assailants ignore the gunshot and continues chasing the sawmill owner. The man runs up to the cop, snatches the revolver from his holster and takes aim at his attackers. Tear the revolver from the sawmill owner's hand. Order the sawmill owner to return the gun.
555,
The cop pulls the revolver out of the sawmill owner's hand, but while the cop is struggling with him, the assailants run up from behind him and hit the cop over the head with a tire iron. Then cracked open the sawmill owner's head for willfully refusing to cooperate. This went very badly. No, you can stay in hospital. We got really crippled by having a lot of our cops being, well, you know, being injured. Some of the cages are filled with dead dogs. The ones still alive are barking wildly and trying to break out. A hefty man wearing large boots is reloading his gun. Run at the man. Open one of the dog cages. Shoot the man. Run. The cop manages to reach the shooter before he finishes reloading the gun and neutralizes the criminal. After being loaded into the patrol car, the man explains that he lives near the shelter and the constant dog barking has been keeping him up all night. That's why he came here with the gun. Sure. Let's give you some speed. And you get some stealth. The secret of the heaping. Open investigation. Okay. This doesn't seem correct. Because the reason why I thought the funeral home director did this was because, you know, the door was open. Turns out it's the homeless guy after all. Here's everything you need. Friends, I want to let people relax at the bath. Yes. And I want you and I guess Belmont to go there. Old Church Sharpwood is a dark place, and I, a proud representative of the Catholic Church, must follow the activity of the heretics and do everything in my power to suppress it. But this one guy is a tough nut to crack. I have tried and tried, but I can't make him renounce his false prophets. I heard that your guys know how to deal with stubborn people, so let me ask for help. Send me a good cop for this bad business. He doesn't need to bring anything, he can use my tools. If we save this heretic, then the doors of my church will always be open to you. We will do what we can for any notorious sinners you catch. Send me a good cop. Brody? Brody's a good cop, I guess. We need a speedy guy for this one. Late. See what he can do. I'd rather have Sheeny and Clemsy be completely relaxed for the coming days, but beggars can't be choosers, unfortunately. On the other hand, Aliev and Brady will be done. That diving suit stank of rotten fish. Anyway, I swam down under the ice, quickly found the corpse and pulled it back up to the surface. I still don't understand why some grumpy old guy collected the body instead of the regular guys from the morgue. Silver whiskey, $2,500. Good. You're almost done with relaxing. And there they go. They are completely relaxed for today. Come on, be a bit quicker at it. You know, I keep repeating myself, so I'm not going to say what I was going to say. You already know what I was going to say. Every day is the same. Let's see, we had 13 points today. Carter only had 1. Wow, he had a rough day. Nash's turn. Let's go with... These are all awful. Next. Carter's turn. Going for a taser. And a stun grenade. And a shocker. So we already won because we won 4 days in a row. Well, anyway. Let's see. I want you. All of you. How about I send you... Oh, he doesn't want to work because he has worked enough, apparently. How about... Oh. No, they are not worth it, really. If there were 3 tired high-level cops, I might consider sending them all 3 to the swimming hole immediately, but although maybe that's possible. Next, end the day.
Hello?
It's me. Are you awake?
What do you think?
Listen, I talked to Shapiro about Plunkett's situation. The truth is bad. He might not even make it to the end of the month. I don't know what he did wrong, but the dicks from the mayor's office don't even want to meet with him. But tomorrow, one of them will be considering your request. At least A.V. Carlos has to be there. Do you know what that means?
I'm not... Come on, Reeves.
Plunkett needs to show off, to show them that he has everything under control. He'll need to puff himself up like a tough leader, the only thing holding the prosecutor's office together, which means you're the ideal target for him to show them what a tough boss he is, you see? To put it simply, whatever happens tomorrow, just nod and don't say anything except, yes, sir, and hopefully the blowback won't get out of hand. Lana? Are you still there?
You'd really like that, right? For me to always say, yes, sir, and that's it?
Lena, what are you talking about? Look, I am trying to, well, sort of like trying to save you. Don't you get it?
Good night, Reeves.
I keep forgetting who everyone is. Lena is the sheriff, right? And Plunkett... Who is Plunkett? Is Plunkett my rival? I thought his name was Powell. Well, anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.